Man, you gotta pull go call up. He might not say nothing, but let him. Hold on.
Okay. Let me know when I can, because I don't know how to do.
You got the floor.
Okay. So let me explain what's going on with me. So basically, this is why I posted what I posted the other day. I'm gonna try to make a long story short, but I'm known for making a short story long. But just to make a long story short, at the beginning of the year, I had a friend of mine at the time who was actively accusing Karen of stealing her podcast rollout and her podcast name, just basically making an ode to what she had already formed. She felt like the podcast name was too similar and the podcast rollout was similar. And there were a lot of things going on just behind the scenes between a lot of the people that are on the Joe Budden podcast and other female podcasters, which it's not my story to share. So if they ever want to come forward, they can. And they can talk about how a lot of things were stolen from them. But so when this happened, at the time, there had been other things that people were accusing her of stealing. And we all have heard the Cameron, we all have heard the Joyner Lucas, but even within the industry too, like I'm in small circles, especially small Haitian circles, like we've heard about, even like when it comes to Haiti, just how she's able to finesse, Haitian funds that are raised as well, okay? A couple years back, she had a quote-unquote playground that she quote-unquote built in Haiti, and if you notice, you don't see anything about that. You haven't heard any results of that playground being built. You haven't heard any results of those kids. Like, you've never heard anything else, but she was in all these articles about that, and she got her publicity, and that's that. Meanwhile, you don't know what happened with that playground, the school, the kids, nothing, okay? So I think I just was very fed up, and I wasn't saying anything, but what was happening was she was contacting mutual people that we have in the business that are Haitian, and she was telling them not to fuck with me, okay? Because I was hanging around the girl that was accusing her of stealing her podcast rollout, okay? So that's when I got fed up, because I was like, wow, I'm not saying anything, I'm staying out of it, I know all this other information. What I did was I told her, listen, you need to approach this as a grown woman. Tell her you didn't steal from her. Invite her on your platform. Like, this is how you should deal with it. She's like, no, the girl's beneath me. I do what I want. I say what I want. Like, that's just her attitude. She feels everybody is beneath her. And so when she started just basically trying to bully me from the industry point, like calling people and telling them not to fuck with me, that's when I got fed up. And so she was doing these backhanded compliments like, oh, can people, suggest podcasts that I should listen to? And I suggested the podcast of my homegirl. So when I did that, she got pissed off. So we exchanged words, and that was that. But then, if you know her, she's very good at throwing rocks, hiding her hand, and then using other people to kind of attack you. So that's what she was doing on Twitter, and I was like, listen, she used this one girl that I knew, and I was like, listen, you better go back to Karen, and you better let her know that she doesn't want this. I'm not the one. I'm hell on wheels. Please don't do this.
How did she use the
And
girl?
so basically, she had her come into my mentions and say certain things. So when I told the girl that, then Karen jumped on Twitter, and she's like, oh, if I were you, I would look at your pinned tweet. She said something like, look at your pinned tweet, like basically like to tell me, like, she gave me my pinned tweet. My pinned tweet was me singing the Star Spangled Banner at a Clippers game last year during the pandemic, and I paid $700 for that. I never said anything about that. I never aired her out for that. I paid $700 for that. For me, the only reason why I never said anything negatively about it is because it was good content for me. Did it make TV? No. Did it make the blogs? No. But it was good content for me, so people could see that I could sing, and I moved forward. So when she said that to me, I was like, okay, well, I'm singing because people know that I can sing. What is your talent besides stealing? And so because I tweeted that.
Hold on. Listen. because this is a real room right here, right? And, you know, I really don't fuck with Karen, but I ain't really got nothing against her. But I will say this. If y'all gonna speak in this room, make sure what you talking about is supporting these accusations. Because if she charged you to place you somewhere and you agree to that fee, that's just what that is, right? But if like, because you fucking with a reputable name and some real serious allegations, so whatever the personal shit is one thing. But if you can't come and speak on how she took some funds from you and didn't provide a service, right? Even the fact that you showed them a podcast or showed them an idea, at the end of the day, that's your bad business because they supposed to sign something before you even did that. Hopefully you learn from that, right? But if you not going to support what this title is in this room, then don't speak on it because she got a platform where she going to use that against you. I'm telling y'all right now. If you're not talking about what she took from y'all and didn't provide a service, she's going to use it against you and then it'll all go away.
I'll say this real quick.
I don't think that's the thing. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I'm about to say, first of all, you know why everybody's asking me to come on stage? It's because this all trickled from me telling everybody that she extorted me for $3.5 million, sir. So,
right.
You know, so exactly. So that's what I was going to get to. I was just giving you a background. So basically, because I tweeted that, she then created a fake event. She created a fake company, created a fake event, emailed me using Facebook Sierra, saying that I was going to host a Facebook Live with Sierra on women empowerment. Okay, I get to the event. There was no event. She had someone record me, and they served me with a 3.5 defamation suit. A defamation suit to the sum of $3.5 million. Now, here's where it gets even more messier, which this is already messy. But she sends the video to Mandy at the Joe Budden podcast platform. Mandy is now sending the video around to people. Now I'm getting phone calls from people. So basically now she's using the video to intimidate me, and then she sends me a cease and desist after to basically tell me she'll drop the lawsuit if I, number one, do an apology that she writes, that she approves, and that she will basically publicize, but it has to be the way that she wants it. And number two, I had to pay her an inconvenience fee. Okay? I can't remember what the inconvenience fee was, but it was in the thousands. Boom. Okay, cool. Now, me being a regular person, she thought I would not have the money to defend myself. So I hired a lawyer to defend myself. So we're filing motions back and forth. She's not winning. Her lawyers are saying things like, oh, well, your attorneys are not meeting with us. Your attorneys are not are not complying. You are wasting the court's time by not paying her fee and not apologizing, basically. And this is all lies. We have the court documentation to show that we did everything on time and that we show that we are complying. But she's lying in court documentation. She's even lying in court documentation saying that the only reason why I have a career is because of her. I posted my resume the other day, but I've been on multiple networks. By the time I even met Karen, I had already been on 4 networks. I had already hosted the Black Girls Rock red carpet special.
But Karen was going to enhance what you was doing.
But in her court documents, she says that she not only basically mentored me and basically gave me way to the industry, which she did not, but she also cites something like, oh, and she couldn't get into a Spotify party, but I let her in. These are things that she's putting in cease and desist in court documents. Okay, so make a long story short, the only reason why I posted what I posted was because she went live. She went live and started talking, and she went live with the girl that I defended to begin with. The reason why she did that was because we had our hearing that determined whether the case whether she even has a case, and whether it's worth going to court. So right before the hearing, our judge, her side, I guess they either asked to amend, or I'd have to read what she posted again. But our judge issued a tentative order. So when a judge issues a tentative order, yes.
What was the order, though? Hold on, let me handle it.
Hold on. Wait a second.
I'm almost done. And then you can kick me off the stage.
Conductor, this is my lane.
Okay, bet. Because I was going to make a reset for people that just came in the room, Wack. No, I was going to make a... I was going to do
Let it ride. That's what I'm trying to
let one mic, just let her finish.
Yeah, let her finish. Let her finish, bro.
Right. The reason why, and here's the thing, is because a lot of you that are in this room, you're not going to understand the wording. Even
I do, though. I do.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you specifically.
And I'm saying because you're in my niece's room with this shit, and you using certain words and terminology. But if you extorting you, then tell me you went to court and you filed that in court.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. I don't know why
she won the court case, y'all.
Yeah, but it's not extortion. Don't do extortion.
It is when you're trying to enforce. When you're one mic.
You cannot use the word. Let me clear this up because this is serious. You cannot use that term extorting when you went to court for something totally different.
Facts.
That's a very serious allegation. You in this room, like I'm protecting this room. Like, don't, whatever your personal shit is, that's cool. But call a spade a spade. If she did this, let it
dictionary. Okay? So extortion is the practice of obtaining benefit through coercion. So she tried to coerce me into writing an apology by slapping me with a slap suit. That is extortion by definition.
She served you paperwork, right? Did she serve you paperwork?
She served her paperwork for $3.5 million.
Okay.
I'm looking at the court case.
So now you respond to that paperwork, right? That's not extortion. It's an allegation. Like that's
when you try to extortion basically touches on coercion. So if somebody's trying to force you to do something by scaring you with a lawsuit, okay, that's all within the definition of extortion. So I mean, we might have different points of. I mean, I'm literally looking at the definition.
Here goes extortion, right? I can talk about it because it's over with.
I mean, right? Like, I'm talking about it through court.
Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, here goes extortion. Oscar De La Hoya, we got these photos of you in these fishnets, which y'all can go see. It's up now. And all this shit, lipstick and high heels. And we got some video. We need $5 million. Verbally, this how they coming, right? Ain't no court, ain't no approaching, your attorneys. Look, give us this, it's coming out. See, now that's extortion. If somebody serves you paperwork saying, hey, I'm filing on you for these fees, and we're going to hear this in his court in front of this judge, that ain't extortion.
Hey, but Wack.
That sounds like it's blackmail.
Okay, somebody just said blackmail.
One mic. I don't care if they lying or not, if it's untrue or not. That is not extortion.
Well, that is up to you.
To the Los Angeles court. She won the court case, so it
that is up to you. That is up to you.
No, listen, if you won the court case, that's one thing. But the minute they serving it through the courts, you can't mix something that they
here's what I'm saying.
With the word extortion.
Okay, so we're not. Okay, so you know what?
Literally in the
was that word used in court? Was extortion used in court?
She still won it regardless. Yeah, she still won the court case.
What happened?
Yeah, it doesn't matter about what word is right.
One mic.
It's just one word. Please let her finish.
One mic.
We're not attorneys.
It may not match up to our definition of what extortion is, but the paperwork.
I just don't like it because whether it's somebody I like or not, I've been the same victim with people over here saying things in conversations, and niggas ain't got the heart to step up. Look, I don't care if it's my enemy. Call a spade, but don't accuse them of something that they ain't guilty of. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if she won the case, then she got.
That's not extortion.
It don't matter what the word is.
It don't matter.
What you mean? Don't matter what the word is? What are you talking about? Y'all in this room saying KARENCIVIL extorted. That is serious.
That's why y'all throwing that around like
This is her truth, though.
That ain't no her damn truth.
Okay,
nah, that ain't her truth.
One mic.
Either you was extorted or you wasn't. And I'm gonna strongly advise my niece, if anybody come in here accusing a man of rape and rape what used in court, it was some other shit, then you shouldn't support that.
Wack, Keita not here, but
rape, extortion, all that's in. Hey, listen.
Hold on.
Real quick, y'all. Real quick.
It's the word extortion.
Hey, one mic. I haven't been
answer that.
Hold on.
Was extortion in the paperwork?
I ain't been in here. I had to leave out for a minute. Jessie, have you told your side of the story?
I mean, I was
accusing the girl of extortion.
Hold on, let me finish.
Accusing the girl of extortion.
I want Jessie, but wait, listen to me, y'all. Jessie, I want you to finish.
I'm gonna say this.
But wait, hold on.
We don't support nobody lying on nobody, bro.
No, hold on. Let me talk. Court case. Let me talk. Jessie, I want you to finish what you're saying, and then I'm gonna have to send you and a few other people there. Because KARENCIVIL is in here, and I'm about to bring her up. But for legal purposes, y'all cannot be on the stage together. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I'm going to let you finish your story, and then you're going to stay at the bottom. I'll bring you back up when Karen is done. But for legal purposes, of course, you know both of y'all cannot be on the stage together.
Right.
Okay. So
as I was saying, whether you agree with the definition or not, to me, and when I look at the definition, that's what it was. So, make a long story short. So the judge issues a tentative order. So basically, the judge, ahead of the hearing, this is the hearing to determine whether we're going to go to trial, because Karen wants to actually take this to trial, because I didn't agree to, say the apology that she wrote for me to do. I didn't agree to pay her inconvenience fee, and then her lawyers also asked that I pay her attorney's fees as well, which were upwards of in the 50s, like in the 50s, probably like $53,000. I am either almost at 30 or over $30,000. I'm waiting for my bill for the month for defending myself. So ahead of the hearing, if you look at the court order, the judge says that she sides with the defendant, basically stating that there's no case to go to court, like to basically go to trial. Yes, we're going back and forth with the judge and we're filing motions, but unless you can come in this hearing right now in the next hour and give me a case to take to trial, I'm letting you know I'm siding with the defendant. She also cited that my motions were filed on time. That was one thing that her side was holding on to very, very tightly. Her side was holding on to the fact that, Jessie filed her motions late, and that she's not complying, and she's like, we haven't been able to reach a resolution. And it's like, I'm not about to be forced to do anything that I should not have to do, especially if I haven't broken any laws here. So at the end of the day, so basically she gave the tentative order, and now she just welcomes me. She basically welcomes me to file a motion for my lawyer fees. So when you saw Karen post what she posted, she didn't post anything about, I think she posted a legal document, but when her legal document doesn't say anything about a court order. It doesn't say a ruling. It doesn't say you were granted. It doesn't say anything in that manner. It's just her side asking for another hearing. And here's the thing. She or anybody else, you can prolong, you can keep prolonging, you can amend. Like, there are ways to keep people in court for as long as you can. And that is something that she called Taxstone in jail and told him that her whole goal for this was to basically drown me out of my money, to keep me in court as long as she could, to drown me out of all my money. So it's either she would drown me out of all my money, or I would pay her a fee for her to drop the case. So basically now where we're at is we're waiting for the official order, and we're waiting for the judge to give the okay for me now to file a motion for my court fees. when you file a motion for your court fees, you still have to have hearings for that. So even though we're most likely never going to go to trial over this, it's still not over for me. I still have to file motions, and you know, let's say she comes up with ways to not pay me. I'm going to have to file documentation for that. So all this over me basically saying, what are you known for? What are you known for?
Okay, facts.
So,
it's not your time to speak. Facts. Mute your mic. Facts. Thank you, facts. Go ahead, Justin.
All right. That was...
Okay, well, hold up, Wack. I want to thank... Hold up. Wait, check this out. Because, you know, Jessica has now said her piece. We are now about to remove Jessica from the stage. And we're going to bring...
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to control...
Go ahead, Keita.
I'm going to remove Jessica. I'm going to send you down. I'm going to bring you back up, sis. A couple of y'all are also going to go down because KARENCIVIL is here. But again, they cannot be on the same stage.